In this video, we are looking at a warm-up routine for singers, and I have Megan Sayer with me, professional vocalist, trained vocalist, which I very much am not. So that's why I'm really pleased to have Megan down here with us to share us some proper tips and to give us those tips that have worked for you over the years that you come back to, and as a quick warm-up routine, essentially before you would do any singing, really.
Yeah, it's really important to warm up before you do any singing, really. Obviously, if you're just sat in your car to the radio, you don't have to do a full warm-up. But if you are looking to sing through songs and practice, definitely warming up is the first thing you have to do.
And I've done many a gig in a cover band where the next day I have had very little voice afterwards, which was somewhat down to going for songs that were maybe out of my range, but definitely because I didn't warm up properly, and I realised that very quickly. So the first part of your warm-up routine, you were saying, is this top to bottom idea, which I've never heard before.
Yeah, so
Tell us about it.
So when I warm up, I always warm up top to bottom.
Okay.
It's a lot easier being able to connect your voices because we have multiple different voices. The two terms you've probably heard a lot of is chest voice and head voice. So it literally means that you tend to find your head voice will vibrate up higher, your chest voice vibrates in your chest. So that's all it means. But basically, if you're trying to warm up, it's easier to connect those voices by going top to bottom. That's just what I've found. It's easier to climb down the hill than it is to walk up it. So you can do this with a hum just by going and working your way down, or you can then change it into ooh. We said about vowels before, really using vowels to help kind of start opening up those mouth shapes.
So we're starting with sounds, not words, and this
Yes.
that's always mine, by the way. That is one that I have used over the years. I've had some singing lessons which really helped, and this was after I was already being paid to sing, but just in a band, and I was like, I need help just to get through it, and I want to get better. So when I'm here and before I start singing, even just for YouTube, even just for a 3-minute or 1-minute demo, that's what I do.
Yeah, that's good.
And those sorts of ones. But I go to low to high as well. So are you saying it's just easier to connect if you come down?
I find it is personally.
Okay.
Obviously, at first, when you're completely fresh and no warm-up at all, you don't want to strike really your highest note because that, again, will feel tougher. So I suppose that's a kind of another point.
So it's to connect rather than to go for your highest note. But I think that's where we would all start off, really. And we even hear actors do this backstage and things like that. Just before a newsreader would go on, all of this kind of thing. It's just trying to get all of this working and to wake it up, because when we speak, we're using like this amount of our voice, and when we sing, we're asking it to use a lot more. You have a fun one, which is along a similar line, but this, ladies and gentlemen, could even be a YouTube first and an internet first, of the straw technique to warm up your voice for singing.
Yeah, so I'm encouraging some bad behaviour here. No, when you're younger, you're told never to blow bubbles, are you, in any drinks or milkshakes? Well, I'm encouraging that.
That just makes this even better.
So basically, I mean, I have to admit this has come from a history of sometimes being in situations where being loud in a warm-up is really quite intimidating. So you want
most
to find
of the time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you want to find things that means you don't have to be as loud, but will get you the same kind of effect and warm up. So I just use a straw and a bottle of water, and all you do is it's the same technique to that hum and that kind of trilling of your lips, but you're using a straw to do so. So obviously I've only got a straw here, no bubbles, but I encourage you to blow lots of bubbles. And all you do is you simply go ooh. And so obviously it is a bit harder. There's a bit of resistance when you're blowing into water, which again helps and forces your vocals to have to work really hard to come together.
And the goal I just want to be really clear of what the goal, because that was such a great example, and I was like, if I try that the first time, what will happen is there will be the lower voice and then a gap, and then it will go into the higher register of our voice. And I think the biggest goal in a warm-up where we know I'm good today, I've got this song, is definitely that smoothness between what we call the chest voice and the head voice. This is chest voice, this is head voice. And it's just where that vibration is, and we're almost trying to smooth it out, I would guess.
Yeah, definitely. You never want to feel like you're pushing from chest voice to head voice. You want to make sure that it's
smoothing it out.
Nice fluid movement. So that's a really good way to just keep focused as well, a lot of singing is mental, so your brain's being distracted by a completely different action. But you're just not. It enables you to softly just go from chest voice to head voice.
I'm going to make you do it one more time. What do we need to do for this?
You need to go like this.
Notice that smoothness. I'm not even going to try this because there very much wouldn't be a smooth transition. And what was the final tip?
The final one, I think you've touched on it already, but it is also mine, is lip trilling. Again, because it's something that we need to warm up the face as well. So we've obviously started with vowels and things like that, but ideally in your songs we're going to be using lyrics. So we want to start warming up everything in this area. The weird thing about singing and the most amazing thing about singing is your body is your instrument.
Yeah,
so
it's true.
You have to be as prepared as you can. So lip trills just starts warming up this area. It means that you're going to have better diction when you're trying to produce all your lyrics, and it just starts warming it all up.
Absolutely. Singing your favourite songs as well and just singing a song does count as part of a warm-up, but those things are so massive, and they're the key elements to any practice routine, for a warm-up routine for a beginner and the professionals as well. It's funny you say that it is such a body thing, because I know that I even go red. You'll see me, I have such sensitive skin that sometimes I go blotchy really easily, and a lot of that just goes here just because you're literally working out part of your body, like exercising, and it becomes really evident for me there. So if you ever see me go red like I'm now, it's because that's what's happening. And finally, what can we say? What would your recommendations be for anyone that's wanting to perhaps take singing a little bit more seriously? So beginners who sing at home and they've seen this warm-up routine and they're practicing through that and they get the confidence up, how would you recommend to step forward when perhaps you don't play an instrument?
Yeah, definitely. So, I mean, YouTube's a great place for finding backing tracks and things like that. I definitely encourage stepping away from singing along to the originals, because otherwise you're going to really force yourself to try and fit their mould that they've set. And
it can be hard to sing without. People can lose where they are.
Yeah, exactly.
So you need to know the lyrics, you need to remember how long the solos are and things, so you know when to come back in. You know, karaoke's nice, but there's such a safety net of having lyrics on screen and everything like that. Can you do it without?
Yeah, exactly. No voice is the same. It's your identity. So enjoy building your own identity and your own voice that is completely personal to you. No one else is going to ever be able to replicate it. So yeah, enjoy it from that perspective as well.
Absolutely. Enjoy it. It's singing. It's supposed to be fun, right? There is no greater joy for me playing music than strumming a guitar and singing, especially when it is with other people, either with an audience or with other musicians and singers. That, I guarantee, it's so scary, but it's the most fun as well. It's got the biggest payoff. I hope that's inspired some of you guys to have a go, have a better warm-up and start singing more frequently, and hope you have lots of fun with it. Thank you so much, Megan. Megan's links are at the top of this description. She's got a new single out. It's all happening. Follow her on Instagram, and I'm sure she will be back for more videos soon.